my friend Dave, the invite said 9:30 we would go live today.
Yeah.
It is 9:32, and as my daughter Maggie would tell us, we screwed up.
Yeah, we screwed up. We screwed up.
Hey, I want everyone to know, Dave works really hard in preparing for this, and I know this is totally throwing him mentally. He is a disaster right now. We've had some technical difficulties, and it has been it's been an entertaining last 15 minutes here in the Java with Josh studios. And don't worry, this is going to go great. It's our Christmas show. I'll even put my lights on, but I told you I wouldn't, because I want you to feel festive and happy.
Cheers.
Cheers. You forgot to even give me coffee today.
Boys. Let me tell you something here. My anxiety is through the roof right now. I would like to point out the calm, peaceful snowflakes that I have on top of us. How cool is that?
That works. I mean, out of all the things that weren't working, that works.
I told you I had a few surprises for you that I was working on yesterday, and the snowflakes is one of them. Now we can. It's very distracting, so don't worry.
Yeah, can we turn them off?
I can get them off. Yeah,
right,
don't worry about that. But holy smokes, Java with Josh, our Christmas edition, man.
December. We said we were going to do this, and I don't think you thought I would follow through on the every month status, and here we are. And this is going to be a fun one. I'm really excited by this Java with Josh, even with the technical difficulties. My iPad is useless. It's sitting over here. I can't even use it today.
Yeah, so we're going to be a little bit like a Simon Says here. Josh will be like, scroll to the next slide, and I'm going to be scrolling to the next slide. Meanwhile, I can't really see what I'm doing. I'm just going to be scrolling and just hope that it works. So if it doesn't, maybe I can fix this in post and put up a clean video to YouTube. I really don't know. So we'll see.
I've done a lot of live presentations and spoken in front of a lot of audiences, but they're never recorded. And so you have to be prepared all the time for, stuff not working.
It's true.
But
we did have that one workshop at Ditka's where the HDMI didn't work.
Oh yeah, there was no TV.
Luckily we had Brian to debug it for half the presentation. So it did work like 10 minutes later. That's true.
That was a very data heavy presentation too.
Oof. So Christmas edition. All right, here we go. It's going to be smooth. Had we not said anything, maybe they wouldn't have noticed our technical difficulties.
We were late. We have been on time. We're like the news, 9:30 on the dot every time. We've just been preempted by football, apparently.
Yeah, true.
So
all right. So what we got here, Josh? What's lead us here? What's going on?
Well, you actually said, hey, we always start with kind of a fun personal story, and we've had a fun month here at FSR. We had our year-end get together. We had our Christmas party at my house. This is our FSR team. We look really good, festive and cheery. And
Michael's head looks a little large there.
Well, I don't know. I'm standing behind Michael, and he leaned forward. Like everyone else is leaning way back on the couch. Michael's sitting on the edge of the couch. Like I think he was afraid my dad was going to tickle him.
I think so. Missy's phone adds like 40 pounds to me, by the way.
Oh, her phone. Yeah, she needs a new one.
Yeah. So this was hosted at Josh's house, and here is the food spread that he had. That top center one was the most majestic charcuterie board that I have ever seen. And what was the name of the lady? What's her business?
Her business. Oh, she's gonna kill me that I can't remember her name of her business. Her name is Veronica. Her business is in Berkeley on St. Charles Road. We'll put it in the notes below this in YouTube here. But Veronica, this is a great story. She unfortunately lost her. This is not the great part of the story. She unfortunately lost her husband during COVID. And they owned a restaurant, and they had kids, and they got through it. It was kind of rough. And she decided that she was going to open her own her own storefront in Berkeley, and focusing on charcuterie and platters. And she comes into people's homes and sets stuff like that up. And she is the nicest lady. She says they're so busy, they're having a hard time. Like she goes, we're gonna have to hire people. She knows food really well. It's a cool place, and it's a great story. She's a great lady. So if you're looking for something,
look at that.
They're really, really good. So we had.
Yeah, you did like a taste of Elmhurst here. So to your top left, we had guac and tacos. We had empanadas and their guacamole and chips. Top right, we had what's it?
Firewater barbecue.
Firewater barbecue. Bottom right, is that sushi nest?
That is sushi time.
Sushi time. Yep. The bottom left is our photo again, and then the cocktail bar was just glorious.
We talked about that last month. I had one special. So
we did.
good there.
So that's always a good time. I think it's nice seeing Brian and Anna there for once. Anna decided to hang out with us.
Yeah,
which is
we
nice.
don't. Ever since Brian had been, we
Yeah.
don't see much of his wife. And
That's
he
true.
probably doesn't either anymore.
Yeah,
but,
good point.
That's there. So
Good stuff.
before we get going, compliance. Speaking of Brian, makes me say a few words.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, this is not specific advice. Although I'm going to give a small tip at the end. It's not doesn't say advice on it. Advice is specific to your situation, and we have to get to know you quite a bit, which we're happy to do. This is for your information, and make sure you apply it to yourself in whatever you think is the best way possible. So
excellent.
That is that. Dave, do you want to explain? We've been doing these now for a few months, and every month we put in here what is Java with Josh.
I think Leslie wrote a really nice description I don't have in front of me, so I'm going to wing it again. But Java with Josh is a monthly live video stream to YouTube, Facebook, and our website. And it is a live, timely market update or other fun things that are happening in the financial world that directly impact retirees and soon-to-be retirees. It is just a way for you to get on camera and for people to hear from you.
I love being on camera. I mean, especially when it works so well like this.
Yeah, especially. Next job with Josh.
Yeah, we got a couple coming up here. We've already scheduled them out.
Here we go.
Wednesday, January 10th. So we're only a few weeks away here. We'll get a new year, kind of what to expect, what's going to happen in 2023. And I promise we're not going to talk about interest rates. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but not interest rates, because that's pretty much what 2023's shows were all about. Then we're going to spend Valentine's Day together. We're going to smooch on Valentine's Day and
love it
and celebrate our love. And then we're going to be back in March 13th. Man, we got them planned out for a while here. Yeah, so this is kind of cool.
March 13th would be a St. Patrick's special, maybe.
Ooh,
get some
corned beef. Yeah. And, now we're talking.
Now we're talking.
So, but no, looking forward to that. And something that I've really enjoyed this year, and we've started sharing stories with our team around this mission. Giving you the confidence to make retirement the best part of your life. This is truly, people look forward to retirement so much, and then they get this fearful worry that comes in from the technical side of retirement. And we like to say, if we can make retirement the best part of your life, that is really what you've been looking forward to forever.
Hang on, it's not even picking up this. It's not picking up our microphones right now. It's not picking up the road here. So what happens if I unplug this really quick?
Hold on. Brian, are you hearing us?
But you get from here.
It's coming from where?
It's coming from my MacBook. The road just disappeared.
You guys are clear.
Is it?
Don't change the thing,
All right,
Dave.
we'll just leave it.
More technical,
unbelievable,
fun stuff. You know what that means, though, Dave?
What?
It means you're not going to get to hear my favorite song I was going to play for you.
You could pull it up to the computer. It'll be a little grainy.
Oh yeah, we'll try it.
Oh, God bless America. All right.
You're clear.
Okay.
Oh gosh, yeah. We want to do this more often.
Yeah. All right, so let's go. Let's just forget about the difficulties. This is Christmas, darn it. Let's go.
I promised some good news here.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about some good news. And let's, Dave, if you could pull up my presentation. Oh man, Dave, this is not my presentation.
No, it's not. No, it is not.
Dave, just go to the PDF on your computer. Just go to the PDF on your computer.
Yep.
There. Just leave it there, Dave. Just leave it there. Every now and then, come back to the camera.
All right.
You'll be good here.
Yep.
Don't worry about it.
Unreal.
I'm gonna have to talk Dave off the ceiling with this after this one. So, today we're going back into the own your retirement planning process, and primarily today, again, we're going to talk about the investments portion of this, but also has to do with the retirement income plan, and they are all equally important. But today, specifically, we're talking about the investments and wealth protection. So go on to the next slide here, Dave.
I deleted that sneeze.
Yeah, well, last month we had a special scene. Whenever I would sneeze, it would go to something else. Today we can barely even see each other, so it's good here.
Jeez.
So these people that you see on the screen are, some would argue, the most powerful people in the world. This is your Federal Reserve Board. This is different Fed board presidents from around the country. In the middle there is Chairman Jerome Powell, if you've heard his name. There are central banks, or the U.S. Central Bank is our Federal Reserve, and they have different branches all over the country, and these are the different branch presidents. Every month they get together and they have a meeting and they talk about what's going on in the economy, and they have been very responsible for a lot of economic good and bad over the last couple years. One of their requirements is to fight inflation, and Dave's trying to bring the camera back. This is going to be so fun.
Oh man, why is it not working? Oh, I know why. Because the stream deck no longer works. Okay, great.
All right. Well, this is.
Keep going. You're good. I got you. See, look, you're in camera.
We just got Dave a new computer too. Isn't this great?
Oh.
I mean, we're going to hear the end of this. But the Federal Reserve meets every month, and they have had a lot of stuff going on here. And over the last couple years, they have been raising interest rates. Not the largest, but the quickest interest rate hike in history. This is a screen. I showed this on last month's Java with Josh. These are the hikes that they made. They made 10 rate hikes, a total of 5.25%, and starting back in March of 17. And now what we would see is every month we would see, are they going to raise rates? How much are they going to raise rates? Are they going to go a half a percent, a whole percent, 3/4? And every time we would see that, we would see negative market news. We would see lots of things that would trigger the market to go down. And why is this? Higher bank rates, what this does when they raise these rates, it leads to higher rates inside of the bank. So if you have money in the bank, sitting in the bank, you have been getting higher interest rates. So maybe higher CD rates, maybe higher money on your money market accounts, but also it leads to higher loan rates. So you've had tighter lending. You've had, actually, Dave, let's just go back to the camera now. People get really bored staring at this.
Okay.
I'll tell you if we have to go back here, but I can talk through most of this. So they've had higher lending rates, which means companies have to spend more when they borrow money. There's a lot of companies and industries in our society that are run solely on debt, and it finances a lot of stuff. So that slows a lot of stuff down. It also makes things more expensive. What you're seeing is you're not seeing housing turnover. You're not seeing, you're seeing a lot of things really slow up when you have these high interest rates. It leads to lower profits inside of companies. So companies that have debt on their balance sheet, they were paying more for that debt, which doesn't change what they do, but it does change how much their profit is. So really everything becomes more expensive. Now, in a very Christmassy theme, my next slide that I don't want you to show me, everybody, has Santa Claus on it.
I should show it.
Well, it's not that cute. I stole it off of Wikipedia and just put it on there.
You didn't have me make the slide.
No, I mean, this next slide it's got 2 Google graphs on it and a Santa Claus picture. But what we're experiencing right now, I heard someone describe as the Santa Claus Rally. Since really the end of October through now, the market has gone pretty much straight up. And last week at the Federal Reserve meeting, last Wednesday, so a week ago now, they were meeting. And what they said at the Federal Reserve meeting was that they were done raising interest rates. We are going to, the interest rate hike cycle is over with. And something else, because a month ago, all they said is we're pausing and watching data. And a month ago, they also said we are not currently talking about rate cuts, not talking about it. Well, a giant switch happened. And last week, they said we predict 2 to 3 rate cuts next year. This is huge news in the market. This is a huge thing. What's happened here is The Federal Reserve has completely shifted courses, and they have so much control over the longer term rates. My next slide, which is I've shown you in every single Java with Josh
All the
we've done.
boxes, right?
This is not the boxes are
Oh,
coming up.
okay.
This one is actually the yield curve.
Mm.
And if you remember the yield curve is short-term rates and long-term rates. And normally, short-term rates are lower than long-term rates because the longer term you go out, the higher it's supposed to be. Well, we've been inverted for a while. But what you've seen is something big has occurred in the last month. The 10-year treasury rate and the longer term rates are coming down drastically. The longer term rates.
I love these on you. You never wear them. So
it's
cute.
So classy.
It's so cute.
I wore a white shirt today because I knew you'd make me wear it today. So
sorry for interrupting.
but the 10-year rate today is actually down to 3.88%. It's been over 5 for much of the last year. So there's a lot of things based on this 10-year treasury. There's a lot of products that are priced on it. There's a lot of things that occur based on this 10-year treasury rate. We're even seeing the 1-year and the 2-year treasuries coming down below 5% for the first time in a long time. The 30-year rate is coming down. And there's a lot of things that are happening out in that time period. You're going to see mortgage rates start to come down. There's people, actually, Sean in our office closed on his house last Friday, a new house. He locked his rates in 60 days ago. He's already refinancing because of the fact that rates have come down so much. So you're going to see stuff like that start to happen.
Maybe next time don't sip so loudly. That was a pretty aggressive.
It was a slurp. I mean, there was
yeah.
Well, compared to all the stuff going on, I deserve a good slurp.
That's true.
But let's talk about what this means here. Well, what we're going to show, or I've showed this slide a little bit before. What's been happening over the last year and a half is there has been a rush to money markets. There has been a giant rush of people throwing money into short-term rates because they're so attractive. Because you can get 5% in a money market, and people really like that, and so they put a lot of money there. The problem is this is not a long-lasting thing. You can't count on it. Kind of like the market going up forever, you can't count on rates being in this realm for a long period of time. And historically, this is a great graph coming from Morningstar. We always see a peak. There's a peak in money market assets. And right now, October of 23, we peaked at $5.7 trillion in money market assets. To put that in perspective, January of 09, we were at 3.8. May of 2020, the pandemic, where we should be at massive money markets, we were at 4.8. So we're over $1 trillion almost more than we were in 2020 in money market rates.
And that's just my account.
Yeah, that's just you. Yeah, trillions.
Trillions.
Elon's got nothing on you.
Nope.
But what's happened is the 3-year performance following those peaks, money markets get crushed. Money markets have a precipitous decline, and at the same time, the U.S. stock market goes up drastically. In fact, I had a new slide, which I'm sorry I can't show you because it's really, really good.
I'll show it really quick.
No, I'm teasing.
You sure?
Teasing,
okay. All right. I can do it.
Excuse me.
Sneeze slide.
Oh, man. What they're showing is what happens to the treasury rates and the corresponding portfolios in the 1 year and 3 years following a Fed rate hike, pause, or stop. And historically, this has been a time where equities going forward have outperformed everything. And in every disclosure you ever see on a graph that we do, it always says past performance is no indicator of future results. But also, in the words of Wayne Gretzky, you skate to where the puck is going. Right now, money markets are paying a great rate, but if we know that the Fed has said that we stopped raising rates, these banks are going to do everything they can to cut what they're paying you because they're hurting pretty bad with that coming out there. So that's an important thing to worry about. So where do you go? What does happen to it?
Just pause. We need a little snow in our life.
Snow.
Get a sip of your coffee. You're talking a mile a minute.
Well,
take a breath.
I am.
Slurp if you have to slurp. I mean,
try to drink quietly.
Okay. Does the snow help calm me down a little bit?
It was very calming.
All right, my anxiety.
This is the most white Christmas we're gonna get right here.
Yeah. Your shirt's pretty white.
It is. It is. But people say, where do I put this money? What do I do with it? And we're going to get to that answer in the end here, but do I put it in the market? We've seen giant growth in the market in the S&P 500. Everyone always says, well, I don't want to put it there because now it's too high. Now it's too high. And I'm not saying you need to be all in the market, but what I am going to get to is that diversification really matters. You want to be well diversified, and now more than ever. We are in a great time. We still have high short-term rates. We have a rising market. Now is a great time to get your asset allocation together. I had a fun slide here a few weeks ago. Every time I say I have a fun slide, it's like I'm back.
Yeah.
It's like a slap to your face. I
Yeah.
apologize. A few weeks ago, I had the pleasure of going to the Fidelity Investments headquarters in Boston. It's a gorgeous building. It kind of overlooks the harbor where the Boston Tea Party took place. It's really a cool place. But inside of their Fidelity Investments is an old family-run company. They have something they call the chart room. And the chart room is kind of famous to them. It is a room, it's probably the size of my office, so I don't know, 12 by 20, something like that. And it has 3 or 4 different walls built into it, and they have paper charts all over it. And there's a guy who runs a team whose whole job is updating these charts. And the charts tell stories of different things that have occurred over time. And you can see the history and what's happened to all sorts of things, from employment to stocks, to indices, to bonds, you name it. They track this in these charts. And it's really cool. And one of the charts that they have is one that shows... Oh man, I'm sorry if my microphone's working. I'm coughing right into you. Mm-hmm. One of the charts they have, it shows the S&P 500 performance over pretty much since the 1930s. And what it's doing is it is showing the different news headlines from Time magazine that have occurred in all these times. So you see all these bad news. So you see, like, Hitler invades Europe. You see, every bad possible thing that occurs. And then you see what happens to the market. There's little blips and boop, it just kind of keeps on going. And we talk about the bad news and all the things that occurred. And another fun slide for you, Dave. We talk about what's occurred in the market since certain time periods. Since September 11th, the S&P 500 is up 403%. Since 2008, we're up 301%. Since we look back to the Brexit vote in 2016, we're up 142%. Even if we look at the COVID-19 pandemic since then, and the U.S. presidential election, we're up 41% since then. That's a short-term thing. So you see, we love bad news. Our news pushes a bunch of bad news, but we still find a way to maintain nice growth with good diversification. And this is when I was going to get into your favorite and everyone's favorite, the periodic table of financial returns. And this is a new one. I actually found a different one. JP Morgan put this one out. And in the middle of it, or not in the middle of it, inside of it, they actually put an asset allocation. So they put a diversified asset allocation and mixed it in with the different asset classes. And you know what? It's never at the top and it's never at the bottom. And it is across the middle. It's not always exactly in the middle, but it maintains its constant flow. And this is what it's meant to do, is show the importance of good, solid asset allocation. And so I'm actually going to finish with a few tips for people this year. Right now, I have 4 tips.
Okay.
Four. The first is get diversified now. Now is the time. Don't wait. No. Don't think you're going to do it, a year from now. The market is in a great place right now to get diversified. If you want to have some safe money, and safe money is a good part of diversification, now may be a great time to lock in some longer term rates, because they're not going to stick around for a long time. If you are looking at a product that has some fixed rates in it, different annuities, different insurance, different CDs, now is the time to do it. These products are going to get perpetually less attractive compared to where they are right now over the next year. So this is something you want to lock into here. Don't get emotional. This is so hard to do But taking emotion out of the investing process is extremely, extremely important.
I wish you would have given that advice before we went live today, because I was very emotional leading up to the.
You were very emotional today. I apologize for that.
Like I was full blown fetal position in the corner. Brian had to lift me up, smack me around a little bit, and then we went live.
He did it to smack you around.
Yeah, you in an army lifted me. He's making fun of me.
He is. He's good at that. And sorry, I was looking at my phone, but I wanted to do something here, and I wasn't being rude to this. The other thing I'm going to encourage people to do right now, and this is super important.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I did it this year. I have been stuck, and since I was a kid, my dad would listen to the same Christmas albums every year, and I love them. Like, they were great Christmas albums. I still play them. But I wouldn't go out and listen to new music. And you love new music, and I have a good friend, Matt Dvorak, who sent me his Christmas Spotify list.
Ooh.
It's a lot of fun. And I found a new song. It wasn't new to all of you, but I want to play a few seconds of it.
We have no idea who can hear it. But
no idea who's going to hear this. But this is Carrie Underwood and John Legend doing Hallelujah, and it's a totally different version. It has become such a hit in my house that my kids listen to it every single morning, and if I drive them to school, the drive is like 4 minutes to school. This is the song they insist we listen to. So here you go.
Let the world stand still, the church bells ring, silent night as the angels sing, hallelujah, hallelujah. Let the magic of the moonlit.
So I tell everybody, find a new Christmas song. Do something fun. Go explore out there. I actually texted my dad that song last night, so I don't know if he got to enjoy it yet or not. But
we often sing duets in the office.
We do. Yeah, we've yet to pull off Hallelujah.
Would you be Carrie or would you be John?
Oh, whichever one coughs the most.
Yeah, I think I can pull off the soprano a little bit better than you.
I think you could. Yeah, I have that deep John Legend-esque voice.
Definitely, yeah.
That's why my kids tell me, Dad, stop singing.
You're as handsome as him too.
Yeah, very.
Mm-hmm.
So,
where were we, by the way?
Well, Dave, I don't think this stellar performance has it had any live questions or comments.
No, a comment though. Would you like to pull it up?
I would. Please tell me it's good.
It's questionable, but
Barb, you are always kind and nice. Merry Christmas to you as well. I hope that you have a wonderful Christmas and enjoy the cookies. And
is this an inside joke here where it says, "Merry Christmas, Josh, Dave, all our FSR family, and Brian on the ceiling"? Or you think it's maybe a typo? Or maybe because she sees me talking to like the ceiling, and
that
that's
could
where
be
Brian
really
lives.
funny. We're gonna next time I talk to Barb, we'll have to ask her about
All right,
that. That's pretty funny.
Right.
So
cool. That's it though. And you know, we've held our most live viewers ever. They've stuck with us through this.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean,
really
they just
cool.
want to see it's like a train wreck. You can't not turn away
Yeah,
here.
that's right.
But we did have a few questions sent in ahead of time.
Yeah.
But before we do that, Dave, did you have a chance to actually listen to me, or were you just freaking out the whole time?
50-50.
Okay.
Actually, 60-40 freak out.
Okay.
More so freaking out. If I had to summarize today's live show, Josh, I would say it's 2023 and Santa is real.
Yeah, we got the Federal Reserve gave us a gift.
Yeah, but don't get greedy.
Yeah, now's the time.
Yeah.
That's it. That's a good one.
That's the message. Thank you.
So we had two questions come in, and the first one was really funny. It came from Chuck F, and he sent a long one in here, and he pretty much said, of course, that's probably, it's a long question, and he finished it with, of course, that's probably what you'll be addressing tomorrow. And it pretty much was. Chuck, you pretty much said everything that I was talking about today. If you have questions, I'd be happy to talk to you one-on-one, but pretty much was, with everything going on right now, where do I put my money? That was the essence of that paragraph that I broke down for you. And it's a very personal decision. But like I said, now is the time to make smart decisions and try and take emotion out of it. There's a lot of good things going on right now, but it doesn't mean it's going to be there forever. So please take the time to be smart with it right now.
Perfect. Before we read another question, This is that awesome still shot I have from back in October. But if you're watching this right now on YouTube, please hit that like button. What that does is that tells YouTube that despite all of our issues, the show is actually fun and good for you and informative, and it helps YouTube push this to other people searching for similar topics. And then, hey, while you're here, hit that subscribe button because you got to tune in every month.
Woohoo!
Cool.
Yeah, like,
Cool.
subscribe. We're going to try and put a lot more YouTube content out next year, so please pay attention to our channel there. But
please, like it's like begging.
Yeah, it's Christmas begging.
Yeah.
The last question. This is one that I was not expecting, and I don't usually name names of competitors in here, but I think the question actually
It applies to everybody.
applies to everybody here. And this comes from Kathy N. This is a good question. My Edward Jones advisor is receiving commissions from my retirement investments, but says I'm not paying them. Is this true, or am I paying them indirectly from heavy loads? If you've ever heard the term, there is no free lunch, this is a great example of it. You may not be paying a fee directly, but you are paying them. Edward Jones is a very unique company. They have different cost structures of how they work. In fact, on their website, and I will put a link to this as well, they link how they make their money. And there's only one of three ways. They're either going to charge you a fee, which is what a fiduciary investment advisor would. They'd lay their fee out and say, this is what it is. Or they're going to get some sort of commission. And that commission could come from a few ways. It could come from loaded funds, which is what a lot of Edward Jones has been built on. So yes, you are paying that fee in the form of loaded investments or commissions on trades or higher mutual fund fees. So for example, they're the same mutual fund that you have, I might have my clients in, but they pay 1% less per year than you do. And that's simply because of the fact that there's a extra fee built into that mutual fund. And the third is Edward Jones actually has agreements with different fund families where if they put your money there, they get some money back on the side. So there are different ways that you are paying for it. Your advisor is definitely making money off of you. But I think it's worth looking at. And if you'd like us to help you out looking at that, we'd be more than happy to. So
As the snow falls.
it's
on your
so
head.
peaceful.
Yeah. Luckily, you don't have that much hair, so they won't build up in there too much.
We took family photos. Missy, my wife, insisted that we needed new photos for our Christmas cards.
Yeah.
And the photographer was awesome. And there's one picture of like all the kids like running around hugging, and we're bent over. And he got a picture. There's one picture's like, oh my God, look at that bald spot.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate to tell you, but the camera does not make you more bald.
Like you have less hair? Or more?
Yeah. No, not like that. So let me check. No more live comments or questions. So
No Clay today?
no Clay, but we got 6 thumbs up, and our viewership is holding strong. Thank you, everybody. This is humbling.
Well, people like when you push through with perseverance.
Yes, perseverance.
So, I can't wait to see everyone in January. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and holiday season. It's one of my favorite times of the year. Everyone's really happy, and you kind of get to spend the time with the people you love, and hopefully bring some cheer out there to the world. So, everybody, Merry Christmas. Enjoy your coffee. Cheers.
Oh, cheers to 2024.
2024.
Let's do it.